Cinephile Mike is here, and today I'm joined by someone whose work has truly shaped how LGBTQ plus stories are told on screen. Alex Schmider, he's an award-winning producer and senior director of entertainment at GLAAD. Alex, you've been instrumental in helping Hollywood create more authentic and inclusive storytelling. I mean, I'm a fan. I've loved Disclosure and Chasing Amy. This year, congrats, you were named one of Out Magazine's Out 100 honorees. You're coming to Doc NYC with your latest project, Kick, following non-binary runner Nikki Hiltz and their path towards the Olympics. So let's talk about the recognition for the Out 100. What does that recognition mean to you personally and professionally at this moment in your career?
Well, again, thank you so much, Mike, for having me and for doing the work that you do, watching movies, talking about them. It's so important to filmmakers and to me personally. So I really appreciate it. And to be recognized by the Out 100 was totally unexpected. I mean, I think I've been doing this work now for about a decade, and you don't do it, you don't get in the hard work for any kind of recognition, but to be alongside people that I've come up with, like Precious Brady Davis and Sarah McBride and River Gaio, like it's especially in this moment, it was really energizing to know that the work is seen and valued and to continue on with it.
So your role at GLAAD has really positioned you. You're right at this intersection of advocacy and entertainment. And when you look at, how far representation has come, what do you feel is the biggest shift that you've seen, and what do you feel we still need to work on?
I think ownership of our stories has been one of the greatest pieces of progress that we've seen. We're always talking about, and I know, Mike, you have also in your work looked at authenticity being a driver of the greatest kinds of stories. And as we've seen LGBTQ people come up as directors, producers, editors, composers, colorists across the board, I think we've started to see those stories really come to life in a different way. And at the same time, as the industry is constricting the kinds of stories, where we can find them, how they're marketed, I think that's a challenge that independent filmmakers are up to really disrupt, because I think that's a place where independent filmmakers and storytellers really are at their best when we're innovating against what the institutions and the industry may be struggling with. We just create on our own, and that hopefully is, an impetus to do things differently.
So let's talk a little bit about Kick, which you're bringing to Doc NYC's to the pro pitch. What inspired you to tell Nikki Hiltz's story, and what did you see in their journey that you felt needed to be on screen?
I will say, I was approached about this project by director Julia Schwab. It's her directorial debut, and having worked on a number of other LGBTQ sports documentaries, I was just immediately enthralled by Julia's relationship with Nikki. They had developed this relationship, intimacy, and access to Nikki's story in a way that I found extremely compelling, because it wasn't about the story outside of Nikki. It was deeply about their own personal journey, yet being on this global stage. And so I just offered myself up to Julia and said, if you need any kind of support, I am here for this story. I am here for you. And she's an incredible filmmaker to watch. So I'm really excited for people to get to know her and the project as we make our way into the world.
Nice. And so previously, I believe it was in 2023, Doc NYC recognized you as one of their 40 under 40. And now you're, bringing Kick to this lineup. What does being a part of this festival mean for you, both as a producer and as an advocate?
Well, Doc NYC being the largest American documentary festival is quite significant. To be recognized by them for my 40 under 40 and to be back with Kick as part of the pitch program. Um, it feels it always feels especially meaningful when you're being recognized by institutions and organizations that you deeply respect for their work out in the world, and Doc NYC is one of those. And so I think particularly at this point in time, when documentaries I feel are so important to audiences to get to know people who are unfamiliar from their own world circles, it just feels like a particularly amazing moment to be there, to be recognized by the organization, and to be supporting documentary films. They are labors of love to make. No one is doing this for the money or the accolades. You really have to care about the stories that you're telling. And so to be able to show up and support other filmmakers in this way is really incredible.
Yeah. Documentaries are just such a fascinating, art form. I was never even, I'll be honest, and maybe I should admit this, it took a while for me to get into them. Like when I was younger, like if you asked me to watch a documentary, no. And now I seek them out. Like I'm thrilled to be covering Doc NYC as a member of the press, and I've already seen some amazing stories that I'm excited to talk about, and I can't wait to see. And I'm excited for when Kick happens because, like I said, I thoroughly enjoyed Disclosure. I loved Chasing Amy. Um, I appreciate the films that you seem to have backed. So I have a feeling I'm going to be digging into your IMDb at some point to kind of fill in some more holes in my watch list.
Thank you, Mike. That means a lot to me. And I also, I think part of our struggle with documentaries too is like you think they're gonna be all the worst and most intense and hard things in the world. And I think the documentaries I'm drawn to, and I think that we're seeing a lot of these days, are about resilience. They're about hope. They're about real people overcoming seemingly insurmountable odds. And there's a lot of joy and humor and fun baked into them. So I'm with you, Mike. Like it took me a while to get into docs, and now that I'm here, I mean, I there are two docs that I can't wait to see at the festival. SantaCon, that is
Same,
totally my shit.
same.
Um, and the Borscht Belt.
Mm,
I don't know if you've heard of that one.
I
I
don't
don't
think
want to.
so.
Anyway. There's so much fun to be had in documentaries in a way that I think whenever I'm producing a project, I definitely want to like sneak that part in.
Well, and I'll also throw this one out there, and I know I'm talking about you, but I'll throw one out there. And anyone who watches this, Steal This Story, Please, is a documentary that every journalist should see, and everything that does. That's another powerful one. I saw it at Woodstock a couple weeks ago, and that's here also. That's an amazing
Amazing.
one.
I'll have to check
Um,
that one out.
yeah. So we're seeing a new generation, and it's amazing, of trans and non-binary storytellers who are really starting to emerge in film and television. From your vantage point, the work you've done and the people you've engaged with, what gives you hope about where this next wave of creators is headed?
I mean, the ingenuity of this generation, and I'm not even going to say next generation because I think some people have been in this game for a while and they're finally starting to see the returns on their investment and of their life's work. But the ingenuity of the stories, not replicating the narratives of the past and really thinking about how their stories enter into the culture at the moment, the cultural consciousness, the conversations that people are having, and frankly, doing a really incredible job of disrupting the distribution channels that have traditionally been the mode of getting your film seen. Um, I think that part is really exciting me because as audiences, you know, have a lot to pay attention to, meeting them in different places of where they are, and doing things that excite people about going to the movies, getting together with people in person. I think that's something that I'm really excited that I've seen with a lot of my peers in, when you're putting something out into the world by any means necessary, get it seen, and make a community experience out of it.
Nice. And finally, because I know I have to let you go soon, when you look back on everything you've done in all these years from your work on your work with GLAAD to the films like Kick that's coming up, the others I see the Changing the Game poster behind you and Disclosure. What do you hope people remember about the stories that you have helped bring to life?
A great question, Mike. I hope that whenever anyone watches any of the work I've done, whether it be through GLAAD or through my producing, they come away from the story with hope and a sense that there is possibility and there is a future to find yourself in, which when I was growing up, I didn't have for myself, having seen Boys Don't Cry at 12 years old. So that's what I would say, hope and more love, um, and even excitement about continuing to go through the world and finding your future.
Nice. Well, Alex, thank you again so much for taking the time to chat with me. Congratulations on all of your accomplishments, and I hope everything goes well with Kick. Have fun at Doc NYC. Like I said, it was really nice that I got a chance to meet with you because your work has been in my film watching lexicon. So I was like, this is a nice pocket here. For everyone watching, you can find more information about Alex's work and GLAAD's ongoing initiatives. I'll throw some links in the description below. And Alex, thank you again so much.
Thank you so much, Mike. And let me get a Chasing Amy out to you. I'll connect with Justin about
That would be
that.
amazing. Thank you.